Hi guys, Yuketsu here. My last video got a bit of traction and people were discussing the flicker strike and generation and how do you progress and yada yada. So I just want to quickly talk about how do you gain frenzy charges? Like what enables you to play flicker? So flicker, first of all, teleports a character to a nearby monster and attacks with a melee weapon. If no specific monster is targeted, one is picked at random. Grants a buff that increases movement speed for duration. The cooldown can be bypassed by expending a frenzy charge. Flicker Strike itself has a 15% chance to gain a frenzy charge on hit. So, on paper, you could just play Flicker Strike, but you'll run out of charges at one point, because 15% isn't a lot. So let's go and talk about how do you gain frenzy charges. I just looked up here how to gain them. So the very first item, I didn't even know that one is a thing, is Monkey Paw Talisman, and apparently you can still get. I don't know. It's weird. It's talisman. Anyways, 10% chance frenzy charge on kill. We worry about single target though, so on kill, not a big deal. Who cares? Here is the heist wand that gives you gain endurance charge, frenzy charge, or power charge every 6 seconds. It's only a 33% chance that you get the correct one, and then it's only 6%, and it's a 1, so it doesn't matter. Let's continue. The Green Dream. At the end of the day, it's just on kill again. Victorious Acuity, same thing. By the way, PoE Wiki, check that out, bookmark that, and just go to Frenzy Charge. Maligaro's Cruelty. Kind of high chance on this one with 5 poisons, which might be hard to get unless you just go Giga Poison and but no point. It's on kill. Who cares? On kill. Blood Dance on kill. It really sucks. Here. Frenzy Charge on kill again. Who cares? Duration, added cold damage per frenzy charge. That's big one for Precursor's Emblem. Movement speed per frenzy. Here, 10% chance to gain a frenzy charge on hit. So that ring might be something you could think about. Maybe it gets multiple stats like this. So here's a chance. Here's a really, really big stat. That's huge. 15% chance that if you would gain frenzy charges, you instead gain up to your maximum number of frenzy charges. I didn't do the math, but it could be that one of those rings with the 15% chance can be all you need to sustain. What else is here? Regenerate, fast charge. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Keep going through the gain. Just gain on kill. Yeah, the maximum thingy is really cool. Okay, Frenzy Charge on hit again. Precursor's Emblem, that's just a different one. And yeah. 10% chance to grant a Frenzy Charge to nearby allies on kill. It doesn't matter. Eyes of the Great Wolf. Frenzy Charge and kill. Doesn't matter. Terminus Est. That's a big one, but you are capped to a degree. Because of the DPS of the weapon itself. We open the Terminus Est in here. We type it in, items, Terminus, and we pump it up both to the max. We end up with a weapon that has 409 DPS as a two-hander. Not too good, but it has a base of 8.75 if you get a perfect roll. And you gain a frenzy charge on critical strike, and you don't need 100% to be able to sustain it somehow, especially if you have any other sources besides that. But Terminus Est is also a very solid way of you to infinitely flicker. This is a very big one as well. If you combine the two, that's pretty big. Usurper's Penance, 20 to 30% chance to gain a frenzy charge on critical strike at close range. Flicker, you are close range, so that's one. Where do you get that helmet? Can drop anywhere. Can be chanced. So that might be a way for you to get one. Sounds pretty good. What else do we have? Then we have Doedri's Elixir. Very interesting flask. Every time I started Flickr again, I just used 1 or 2 of those flasks to get my stuff going. Because here's the thing: if I'm playing a build and it has Flicker Strike, I'm starting when I get Flicker Strike. I'm playing that bitch at level 12. I kill Merveil with Flicker Strike. Doedri's Elixir, 1 to 3 charges. Kind of cool. Pathfinder, maybe. Just get some sort of charges. Kind of cool. Here's a very interesting one. Retaliation Charm. 10 to 20% chance to gain a frenzy charge on hit while blinded. There are multiple ways of you to bypass the downside of being blinded. What does blind do? Blind is a debuff that lessens the accuracy and the evasion of the affected target by 20%. Kinda bad. But with you having enough accuracy, it might not matter. So that's a way. It's a level 16 amulet and can be a 20% chance to gain a frenzy charge on hit. Kinda cool. Warden's Brand. 15% chance to gain a frenzy charge when you stun an enemy. Kind of a weird item because you also get 30% reduced attack speed, but you know, it's a way to gain frenzy charges. We're back to Precursor's Emblem. A Slave Driver's Hand. Some shenanigans with traps, who cares? Let's skip those. We're back here again. Those are wands, it doesn't matter. Here we are at Oros. Gain a frenzy charge if an attack ignites an enemy. You can have a 100% chance. Another way for people is to use the Red Trail. Gain a frenzy charge on hit while bleeding. That means you need to bleed yourself. 50% chance to be inflicted with bleeding when hit by an attack. And you can use a jewel to bleed yourself if you hit someone. But then you need to find a way to reduce the damage by a lot. People did that in the past by having 99-98% conversion to elemental stuff. So the hit portion is very small. Like the physical hit damage is so small, so it's not a big deal. What is another way? Affected. Unaffected. Yeah, for example, you could play Slayer's Endless Hunger and you're unaffected by bleeding, though it still affects you. Like, you are still bleeding, but it doesn't do anything. Another thing is Watcher's Eye can roll a modifier that grants unaffected by bleeding while affected by malevolence. So that's kind of cool, but you have to sacrifice, you have to use malevolence. But if that's the price for you to endlessly flicker, you know, it's a way. You can make it work. And there is a jewel. Here, the golden rule. Bleeding you inflict is reflected to you. But again, if you play Slayer, that doesn't matter. But there is also, I think, a mastery. Should be here. Okay, but that doesn't work because this one makes you immune to bleeding, but then you're not bleeding at all. So that doesn't work. So you could play with the Red Trail in combination with Red Trail, Golden Rule, have bleed chance. Yeah. Do you even have percentage? No. And you also can be bled. And then you play Slayer with the hunger thing and your Gucci. Trap shit, no one cares. Frenzy charge and kill, doesn't matter. Ferul's Fur is a big one, but that one is going to be expensive. what you want to do here is, or let's read what Ferrule's Fur does. Gain up to your maximum number of frenzy and power charges when you gain Cat's Stealth. So Ferrule's Fur works this way. You have a buff called, or two buffs called Cat's Stealth and Cat's Agility. Though you need a different piece of equipment that will give you that. And that you either gain from having one of those. So you need aspect of the cat. By the way, Ferrule's also makes it so it's no reservation. You gain attack speed. You gain 15% chance to avoid all damage from hits. Pretty sick. 100% ink critical strike chance. Pretty sick. Either you wear the helmet or you can beast craft it. On your items. So you do that and then you run it and you want to link it to less duration so it cycles faster because by default it's 4 seconds and you want it faster to cycle so you gain the maximum frenzy charges more often. So that's a very nifty way to get it. Getting frenzy. I think those are all the ways for you to get them. Another way, of course, is you can also play Raider, for example. Charge and kill, other effects per frenzy charge. That doesn't matter. The ascendancy was further down. One item that a lot of Flicker people obviously want to have is Dark Ray Vectors, because it gives you +1 maximum frenzy charges. What else is there? Let me think. Oh god. It repeats so often, the same thing. Okay. Sinvicta's metal isn't really viable, so just ignore that one. Okay, this is a weird one. I haven't looked into too much, but you have a 20, so the gloves are called Ceaseless Feast, and they give some totally new effect called corrosion. And it says 20 to 30% chance to inflict corrosion on hit. Inflicts a stacking debuff that causes -5k total armor or 1k evasion per corrosion. Thing is, what if an enemy, because it says 20 to 30% chance to gain a frenzy charge on hitting an enemy with no evasion rating. What if the enemy has too much evasion? If you cannot lower it to the point where you are receiving the charges, so that's a weird one. Frenzy charge and kill, frenzy charge and block. That's really too weird. And yeah, you shouldn't rely on those ones. Another one for, you can play Raider. That's a cool one because you get, where's the ascendancy? Gain power charges instead of frenzy charges. You don't want that, of course. Enemies hitting you have a 10% chance to gain an endurance charge. No, that doesn't matter. And here's another one for Raider. 20% chance frenzy charge and kill. That's cool, but the more important one is 20% chance to gain a frenzy charge when you hit a rare or unique enemy. That's very good. So if you play Raider, you can do that. If you generally want to play Flicker ASAP and you don't have the regeneration you want, the gain mechanics, you can just also add Frenzy and stand in front of the boss and frenzy him a couple of times, and this way you get more frenzy charges and just go. You can do that, but you definitely should be a bit sturdy, but you get those frenzy charges pretty quick because it also says 5% more attack speed per frenzy charge. So those are the ways for you to get them. Yeah, if you have any more questions about Flicker, maybe I can answer them, hopefully. And yeah, have a nice day, guys.